We know that there are thousands of Albertans out of work. We know that unemployment numbers are, well, they haven't looked like this for decades. Let's be honest. Everybody's talking about slowdowns in the economy and the low price of oil and the impact that it's having here in the province of Alberta. We're not immune to the feelings that come with that reality. Heck, we're Albertans too. When you sit there and go, what can we do? We figured we needed to do something. So we announced late last week that we were going to try something. It's an experiment. We can't make any promises and we don't know how it's going to go. But this right now is the official launch of something we're calling Ched Hunters. And so every Monday morning, at some point in the morning, we're going to invite a Ched listener into the 630 Ched studio for essentially a job interview. It's a job interview that you can watch live on Facebook Live. So if you head over to our 630 Ched Facebook page right now, you'll see a live video feed of the first two guests ever on Ched Hunters, Michael Kendall, and not just Michael, though, his son Christopher as well. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Morning.
Hi.
It's wonderful to see you. Both of you. You've got your ties knotted up. You've got the pocket squares in. You came ready to play today. Michael, what's your story?
In June, I was laid off from my job within the engineering department of a major oil field supplier. And I've been looking for a job since, mainly because that everyone was let go over the last year or so. And there is much a glut of people out there looking for a job.
Your email just jumped out at us in the inbox, and I should say that there were some really, really compelling submissions of people telling us their stories, saying they wanted to be the first to appear here on Ched Hunters. What was especially notable about yours was the fact that you included not just yourself, but your son, Christopher, in your email as well. Christopher, good morning.
Morning.
What's your story?
So I worked at a bigger oil company for a couple of years too as a apprentice machinist, and yeah, we all got let go at the same time as well.
How long had you been working there?
I was working there for around 3 years.
Okay, and before that, you had just graduated from school, I'm guessing?
I started in grade 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did they give you a reason for the layoff? Did they give you a
It was
sort of...
just money.
Yeah.
Just money.
Michael, how about you? How long had you been with your firm?
I've been with that firm for about 10 years at the time. So,
And what specific type of engineering were you doing?
doing a mechanical design of downhole oil tools. So,
Okay. Did you see my eyes just glaze over there a little bit? Like I don't have a follow-up question to that. I don't know what that means at all. Have you had fairly varied experience in your more than 20 years as an engineer?
oh yeah, I've also worked on servicing equipment for the oil tools, mobile stations for like mobile rigs that went over to Dubai. I also worked on servicing tools for all these equipment as well, and that's a lot of it.
A whole ton of experience. Now, Christopher, you were just getting started.
Yeah.
Did you find that you were gaining a whole bunch of experience in a lot of different areas, or do you have a pretty specific, specialized skill set?
Well, in our shop, we were more diverse with our machines. We had manual machines, we had CNC machines, and so I got a pretty good understanding of the variety of machines that I could work with.
Okay. Now, what I'd like to know is what the job hunt has looked like. I'd be curious to know what people have been telling you. Now, the whole point of this is to try to connect the two of you, two Albertans that are looking to drop everything and start working, right? With people that might be able to give you that exact opportunity. We don't know how it's going to go. Like we said, we've made no promises, but we're using the hashtag ChedHunters. You can text us to 630-630, and our phone number is 780-496-0063. If you feel led, if you feel inclined, go ahead and be in touch. When we come back, we'll learn a little bit more about the stories of Michael and Christopher Kendall, our first ever guests on Ched Hunters, here on 630 Ched. Edition of Ched Hunters here on 630 Ched. We're welcoming Albertans looking for work into the Ched studio. We're giving you the floor, the opportunity to sell yourself to potential employers who could be listening. who could be texting into 630, who could be calling into 780-496-0063, or maybe even sending us an email down the road going, who is that guy that was on? Yeah, you know, we might have something for them. Our guests here in studio today, Michael Kendall, his son, Christopher Kendall. Michael, a mechanical engineer. Christopher, a machinist. Michael, you've been out of work as an engineer for how many months now?
Since June. So.
Since June. You starting to feel it, coming up on a year?
Yeah, it's starting to feel it there. I have been busy. I've been doing a lot of volunteering and work and stuff for Make-A-Wish and other organizations, and I've been working around the house, redoing the kitchen, and we did a snow display in our front yard too as well.
It's almost served as a sabbatical of sorts.
Yeah.
Allowed you to knock some things off the to-do list. I know you'd like to get back at work.
Definitely.
Plying your trade, though, so to speak. What would you say has been the job hunting experience to this point? Are you getting a consistent answer every time?
Yeah, it's pretty much, in my particular experience set, they're not really looking for anyone right now. If I had been going through, say, the discipline with the mechanical as an HVAC, like buildings and stuff, they're looking for those people a lot more right now. But anybody involved with more than the mechanical side, not, because there is so much out there and they don't really need them right now.
We're hearing from so many people that are telling me the exact same thing that you've said. You know, some have gone so far to say, is, you know, I'm being told I have too much experience, or I'm being told. So, what would you be willing to do? I mean, you know, we don't want to get to a point where you're like, you know, I'm not asking it as a stunt question, but what sort of stuff, what other diversity might you be able to display when it comes to your skill set or your experience? What else are you good at?
I'm fairly good at math as well. I've also been looking after my wife's bookkeeping and stuff for her business, and anything like that.
How's he been doing, Lori? Is he a pretty good bookkeeper?
We always come to zero. He does it perfect.
You always come to zero.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you get a pass there.
Yeah. And anything with the volunteering and stuff. I really enjoy working with the people, getting out there and promoting things.
People in Devon know the Kendall family. You
Yes.
guys seem to have your fingers in a lot of pies, so to speak.
Yes.
Christopher, it's been a little bit different for you. You were part of this RAP program, the RAP, the RAP program. For
Yeah.
people that don't know what that's all about, what's the deal there?
It's the Registered Apprenticeship program, and it allows students to get their foot into the door of the trades early on, and it works for the company and it works for the people.
And you're, what are you now? Are you 21?
21, yeah.
And so the fact that I can call you a machinist at 21 is probably due to the fact that you were enrolled in this RAP program.
Yeah, third year.
Yeah. So what's the job hunt been like through your experience? How many doors would you say you've knocked on, and what's been the experience to this point?
Well, we went to NISCU just so many times, just looking around, and you see two signs, either not hiring or for sale, and that's not very good. But applying online for jobs is also really good for time-wise as well. But again, not much response in return.
In other words, you're not even hearing back from a lot
Not
of
even
these
at all.
groups. Have you been applying for a lot of jobs that aren't posted? In other words, just cold calling?
Yeah. There's been a couple situations where it's just we're not hiring, but send one anyway, just in case.
I understand that this is also just, by this, our reality right now, the economy, the landscape here in Alberta, interfering with you getting your ticket. You were so close to getting through your apprenticeship and to becoming a journeyman. So what's the reason? You just can't get the hours?
Yeah, just straight hours. I just took the schooling, and I would be around 3/4 done, but I don't even have the hours for that, so I'm just waiting for the hours to even move up to that.
So for someone that says, okay, well, we might not have work for a machinist right now, but there are other things that we need done. What other elements are there to your skill set? What else have you done, or what would you be willing to do?
I think at this point, maybe a third-year machinist would be a little bit hard to get into, but maybe starting another trade again would be an asset to me. I also did really well in school. Graduated with 170 credits, which is pretty alright.
Isn't that way more than you need?
You need 100. Yeah, but.
I tell our listeners that Dad's face just lit up. You got to be pretty proud of your son.
Oh, yeah.
You pretty proud of your dad right now?
Yeah.
What's it like? It might be an obvious question, but what's it like in a household where father and son are both out of work, both looking for jobs in what has been a, quote, have province, a prosperous province for quite some time.
It definitely is difficult, but we're trying to keep up things again with my volunteering and
Working together on projects.
working on projects outside the house,
Yeah.
doing our front yard. And
Has it actually kind of been, in a sense, I mean, is there a silver lining? Has it been a special time for the two of you to get to know each other a little bit better? Or are you getting sick of each other?
wow,
The truth lies between those.
Someone here says they would, I don't even know if they were on something here or not. On the text line, they'd suggest Packers Plus. They say that it's a company that specializes in directional fracking tool manufacturing. Is that something you've looked into? We're going to pull out all the stops here.
There.
I guess it's up to the job hunters to be digging opportunities up these days, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
it is definitely.
All right, guys. Is there anything that you'd want to add? If I said right now, how would you sell yourself to Alberta's biggest listening audience? Closing thoughts, closing remarks. The floor is yours. Christopher, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, I guess I have experience in the trades and with hands-on work, and I guess also with school. So it's kind of both worlds.
An achiever.
And
Michael?
you can say that.
I have 23 years experience with design engineering, and I've led engineering teams into building successful products for the companies that I've worked for.
A lot of loyalty there.
Yeah.
I can tell that this means a lot to the two of you just by the fact that you showed up here wearing your Sunday's best, as they say, looking sharp for this job interview. The first ever here on 630 Ched, this first edition of Ched Hunters. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
What we're going to
Thank
do
you.
now is put this out to our audience. If what you've just heard has resonated, if you think that you may have an opportunity for these two, maybe it's a contract, maybe it's part-time employment off the bat, maybe it's a full-time gig, you can go through us. Our text line is 630-630. You can go to 630ched.com and send us an email. Of course, you can call in as well to 780-496-0063. Our guests have been Michael and Christopher Kindle out of Devon, Alberta. Guys, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Nice job, fellas. You did well.
Awesome.
That was great. Nice job.